festivals and stuff where she could be a vendor. Because I know, like, she will be on it, and then we will go and pack up her stuff with the kids, take a road trip somewhere, and be at the festival, and they'd be like, hey, you want to buy this jewelry? Buy this jewelry. Zealous. We take your monies. You know what I mean? And so I was happy to help her with that. But it was just nice. And I love jewelry, so she gets stuff, and I get stuff in return. But I do pay. I pay some. So sometimes she's just nice, and she gives me extra. Like, she gave me these for free. For helping and just being, she's very giving, actually. My sister, to me, is very, very generous. Anyway, are we talking? We talking?
We talking
about jewelry?
You talking about jewelry?
I am talking about jewelry, y'all. My sister sells, like, really lovely, like, African style, but just, like, beautiful, like, style jewelry. Gold from Brazil, silver pieces as well, and I was helping her with her Instagram, of course, because I am the what? The triple F queen. The triple F queen. The triple F queen. Exactly. And so I was just telling her how I was like, yep, I do it on the gram all the time. And I was telling Whitney about my birthday, which was past weekend, the Juneteenth weekend. I'm a Juneteenth girl because that's my birthday. It was also Father's Day. So I was born on Father's Day, actually. I'm not going to tell you my year, but whatever. Anyway, but I was just telling her how much fun it was to help her put everything together and, like, just look. And I got some pieces out of there, too, because I love me some jewelry. What about you, Whitney? Do you like jewelry?
I'm not, big on jewelry. I don't dislike jewelry, but, I don't know. Allergies have changed over the years, so some stuff doesn't always
agree with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, but I was like, we're gonna have to get you hooked up because she's going to one of my cousin's wedding, and Nigerian weddings are like the biggest fanfare. You must be like decked from head to toe. And I was like, Whitney, we gotta hook you up with some jewelry. So I was like, if you need some,
put some bass in your walk.
Exactly.
Head to toe. Let your whole body talk.
Do it.
Come on, girl.
Do it.
Put some bass in your walk.
Vogue it.
Head to toe.
Vogue it.
Let your whole body talk. I can't lie. That was a really good song that RuPaul made. All those.
RuPaul is awesome. Anyway, I remember I saw her recently on the recently on James Corden show, and then James Corden decided to do like the RuPaul drag race, but for his staff. So then like RuPaul was judging the 5 staff people that came out, and it was like RuPaul's Jubilee. So they were dressing up in drag and all the different styles of Queen of England, because James Corden's from England. And it was actually really cool. And then they had one dude who was just like super confident. He's like, I know I can do it, bitch. And he was just like, he had the leg out there. He had the wig, everything. It was so interesting to watch. And RuPaul had her great, just her great lines that she has when she speaks. I love when she does like a commentary. Because she'd be like, oh, he has slayed that, okay? There's the way he talks.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, man, this is cool. I could see I was like, I could probably see me watching the Drag Race. I've never seen the Drag Race show, but I was like, I could see it because it's just amazing.
I think it's on Prime, or at least some, a lot of the seasons I think are on Prime.
I know. There's so much shows out there. There's like way too
many
shows.
And it's got a lot of seasons. But yeah, I've watched at least a couple seasons. It's entertaining. I like it.
Speaking of Pride, speaking of RuPaul, actually, it is Pride Month, y'all. We're still in June.
Happy Pride, everybody!
Happy Pride Month, and so we definitely have a Pride themed, Pride and Christmas themed episode today. I love it. Sorry, I went ASMR just then. I don't know why. Anyway, but we do have a Pride. We finally got to reviewing one. And I'm happy to review this film. It was really nice. It is called what? Tell them, Whitney.
It's called Single All the Way.
Single bells, single bells, single all the way. Don't tell my mom because she'll stay on Instagram and find me, guys. No, my mom doesn't do that. And that didn't work out as well as I thought in my head.
But yeah, it's got Michael Urie, which I don't know him by the actual actor's name, but I know him as Mark from Ugly Betty.
Yes.
And I loved him in that show.
And then new guy called Philemon. Philemon Chambers. And I'm like,
it's like,
Philemon, you can come and fill upon me, okay?
Never heard of a Philemon other than Philemon from Hercules.
Oh, it's a name from the Bible.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep. It's a Bible name. Yep.
Gotcha.
But no, like you said, I haven't met anybody in person named Philemon.
I only knew of the one, the satyr from Hercules.
There you go. But Philemon is
Who
hot.
but the gladiator Hercules, whose daring deeds a great theater
Every time, y'all.
Hercules.
It's like clockwork.
Isn't he bold? No one greater. Isn't he sweet? Our favorite.
My head is shaking. If you guys don't know.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just joking. So Philemon, he, like I said, he could fill upon me if he wanted to.
That sound is so dirty.
It is. It's meant to be dirty. Because he is fine. He may be gay in real life too. I don't know, but he was just fine in every scene he was in. I was like, can I switch places with you, Michael Urie, please? He can experiment with me. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, y'all, but before we get into the full episode today, we are going to what? Blerd out. Blerd out. Blerd out. Blerd out. Speaking of Pride Month, I feel like that new song I was just telling you about, that new Beyonce song, I feel like she put it out for Pride Month. Because it's like, if you realize the message, and it's like, you won't break my soul. It's very much a EDM, like, voguing song. Like I told you, I can see all the gay guys just voguing the mirror to this. Like, it's very much a club EDM song. Voguing song. You can just see them all doing suicide drops and slaying to this song. And it's
is that what they're called? When they, like, drop onto their back?
It's called suicide drop, yep.
Oh, man. I'm
People that can do it are amazing. I can't
yeah, because I've got bad knees. And
exactly. If I can't drop it like it's lukewarm, no, there's no dropping of this. I ain't definitely dropping on my back or my head or nothing like they do, because I'm not. No. I love that they can do it, but I love when people do it. I'm not gonna lie.
It is pretty cool looking.
But I was like, are y'all okay? Are you okay? Did you hurt your neck? That's what I think.
Your neck, your back.
Oh, never mind. It's Pride Month. Let's talk about something else. But again, we're doing Blerd Out segment right now. But I just wanted to put that out there because I really think her song, she put it out purposely in this month because of the message in it. Especially stuff, a lot of things are coming under attack. Especially for women's rights. But I'm not going to get political today. But you won't break our soul, okay? You won't.
That's right.
All right. And so I'm going to blurt out first. Yeah. So, first of all, I want to give a slight announcement that your girls, BlerdTalk with Bola and Whitney, Triple F Queen, and No Tagline Wit, we are going to be at what? BlerdCon! Woo-woo!
Well, I mean, we were going to be at Blerd. We intended to be at BlerdCon anyway, but we're doing a panel, y'all.
Yes, we upgraded. Let me upgrade you. Speaking of Beyonce, let me upgrade you. We are going to be giving a panel.
Yeah, so if you guys are going to be at BlerdCon, or even if you weren't, come to BlerdCon. We're going to be there. Our panel is Friday from 2 to 2:50 in the Tidewater 3 room.
Oh, wow. Awesome. And we are going to be talking about podcasting.
How to start your own podcast.
Yes, everybody. And so please, if you're listening, if you're a fan of ours, come out to BlerdCon and see us. We would love to meet you and everything. And so we're so excited about that. So in the spirit of cons and blerding, my two blerd outs today, well, I'll just regulate it to two, are about, one's a book and another one is a TV show that I started that's very blerdy. Both are very blerdy. Okay, so I went to the book bar looking for more books. I was looking for a book in particular called Homegoing, which I talked about in our last episode, our Juneteenth episode. And it's an amazing book, but I'm not talking about that. But while I was there, I saw another book next to it, right? And I was like, what is this? Because this cover was so cool. It was called The Love Con by Seressia Glass. She's a Black blerd art author and everything. And she wrote her book. The premise of the book was it's about a fat Black girl who makes costumes and loves cons. Like, she goes to cons. And the premise is that she's on a reality show about making cosplay costumes.
Ooh.
And she's like one of the finalists, and she has this best friend that she lives with and works with and everything, and then doesn't think she's in love with him or anything like that, but they have to do for the final challenge is to do a couple costume. And because she's like the underestimated black girl, fat black girl, whatever, they don't think she got nobody. They don't think, and one of the judges is like really mean to her. And this is all in like the first chapter, because I always read the first chapter of a book that I find the cover interesting, just to see if I'll like the book. And so I read the first chapter, and then so it's like she just gives her friend's name because she didn't have anybody else who could do this costume with her, because that person has to like help her and be there and be on the show. And so she just gives this guy's name, and we have to read the rest of the book to figure out what will happen next. But I was just like feeling it so bad, because I was like, oh my God, this is an awesome book premise. It's blerdy. It's about black girls that love to go to cons and dress up. And here she is. She makes her own costumes and everything. And she was a fierce, wonderful character from the beginning. And I was like super excited. So I mean, I only went there, y'all, to purchase one book. I went to Barnes and Nobles to purchase one book because I couldn't find Homegoing at the Book Bar in RVA, which is the black-owned bookstore I want to support, but they didn't have Homegoing when I went. So I went to Barnes and Noble, which is my second favorite place. It's actually my first. I love going to Barnes and Noble. And I went there and I bought the book. I bought both of them, and I was like, I'm going to read them. Because I had bought another book at Book Bar beforehand, and I had started that one already, but then I had stopped. Guys, I've just been into the books, okay? I've been into the books. But this one is very, like, blurred outward, because it's like I've never seen anything with this premise. I can't wait to get into it more, and I just think it's a cool blerdy thing. I was like, my blurred girl was happy. My blurred senses were tingling. That's why I was like, I have to buy this. The cover was so cool. You could see the girl was like a plus size black chick in a costume, and the partner was white, and they were like together on the book cover. It was so cool. I'm gonna post the book cover on our page, on our Instagram page, okay, everybody, so you can see, and we'll put it in the show notes too. So I can't wait to read it. It was already like hooked me from the first chapter. And I was like, oh no, you coming home with me, okay? I sat in the bookstore and I had my boba tea and my chicken, my food court Chinese chicken. I just got the side
chicken
of the
China, the Chinese chicken. Yeah. You have a drumstick and your brain starts ticking.
Look at that, y'all. I'm like, how do you just find a song just from Chinese chicken? Like, anyway, it really is a talent. But yeah, so that is my first blurt out. I'm so happy that this was out here. So Seressia Glass, thank you. I know you're a blurred. I know you're awesome. And I'm just glad you wrote a book for us, Black girl magic, damn, especially for the fat girls, yes. And the blurry girls, yes. I was happy.
Right.
So I'm going to read that. My second one is also blurty. I'm not going to get into it so much because, one, this show is not finished and Whitney hasn't seen it. But my second blurred out is about Miss Marvel, the Marvel TV series, about the first Pakistani superhero who's like a high school age kid. But the premise, because I didn't know what the premise was, I just started watching it when it first came out. And the girl is also a cosplayer. She the main character, her name is Kamala Khan. And she's so much into her fantasies, into drawing and doodling and costuming. And Captain Marvel is like her favorite superhero ever. And she's like obsessed with all this. She draws and she doodles, and then the art for the show is constantly having doodles all over the screen, even in the real world. But she's her main thing was she wanted to go to this Avenger Con. They made Avenger Con, and she wanted to go and dress up as Captain Marvel, but her parents didn't want her to go because she's a Pakistani girl, Muslim girl. The parents didn't want her to dress. Anyway, that was I just love the character Kamala Khan because she's just so real. She was oh my gosh, she's a blurred too, actually. And I was just and it was I watched them in the same week as I got the book. So I was just oh my God, look at these two things connecting. I would totally go to an Avenger Con. What about you, Whitney?
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh my God. And then I just have to say, Miss Marvel, the series, is amazing. Already hooked. I love it. I love the culture. They really go into the Pakistani culture, some of the issues and things. And it's just good. It's not done yet, but I'm already loving it. And the powers, everything, it's so great. I'm not going to get too much into it, but you guys need to check out Miss Marvel on Disney Plus right now. Disney is they're doing it again. And what I like that Disney does is they're recognizing we want to make these stories. We need to get the people, a part of the culture, to make these stories, because you can tell. And me and my sister watch the credits sometimes, like the colorful, the drawing credits, and then, they have the black and white ones that scroll up. But when they have the credits that come you can hear the Pakistani music in Urdu. You can see the names. You can tell these are like Arabic or Indian names or Pakistani names. And you're just like, yes, they got their people to work on this.
Yeah.
They're doing that. You can see their name involved in all the different parts. And I was like, that's how you do it. That's why it's successful. That's why Shang-Chi was successful. They had a bunch of people that were Chinese and Asian descent doing that. That's why Black Panther was so successful. They had black
Turning
and African
Red
peoples.
is so awesome.
Well, we're talking about Marvel right now, not Disney as a whole, but yes.
I'm just talking about like having representation, not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera.
You're right, because that is the failing of Mulan.
But they did it in Turning Red. They're learning. They're learning, and they're seeing how successful it is, how rich it is.
That's what they did with Moon Knight as well. They got some Arabic people from Egypt, to actually direct and write and do the series. I mean, and it works, and it's so good. I can't wait to finish. I was like, I don't know, but I couldn't wait because I already started watching it. So I was just like, no, I need to see next week's episode. But I agree with Whitney. Sometimes it's better to let that mess finish.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it, but I gotta wait till.
But I want to contribute to the likes and the watching ratings as well. I wanted to contribute to that. So, yeah, I really like Miss Marvel. So those are my 2 blurting out things. It's all con related, because next time you hear from us, we'll probably be doing the Thor for July and talking about BlerdCon.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Whitney?
So I am blurting out about a couple or a few things. So number 1, staying with the kind of pride thing, I watched a new Netflix series. I think it just came out this month, called First Kill. So it's this series about a vampire and a vampire hunter that fall in love. And it's LGBT. Right? Yeah, they're females. LGBTQ. It was good. I enjoyed it. I will look forward to hopefully them having a season 2, because the final episode, it was like, this needs a second season to resolve things. Okay. But I enjoyed it, so that's on Netflix. I recommend it. First Kill. What else am I blurting out about? I started rewatching Supernatural. Because I didn't get
with me. That's like a lot. Yet you will not finish Xena. That don't make no sense. Y'all, tell her to stop sleeping. Like, she has the whole box set on DVD. I know it's antiquated now. But how you gonna restart? How you gonna restart? Supernatural is super long.
I know it is. God. But I think you know what? I know the reason I started watching it. It's because I finished like maybe a month ago. I rewatched and finished the first and second season of The Boys. I had watched the first season before, but I hadn't watched the second season.
Oh, one of them is in The Boys, right?
In the third season. He wasn't in the first 2, but so Jensen Ackles is playing a character, I think, called Soldier Boy, who's going to be in the third season, or is in the third season by now, I guess, because the Boys isn't finished yet, the current season. But because of that, I was like, let me go back and give Supernatural another try. It's not that I didn't like it, but I fell off for whatever reason, and I know our friend T had recommended it to me, and I started it, but never got that far.
You talking about T.I.? For real? Okay.
Yeah, she recommended it to me.
She watched that show. It didn't seem like a show she would like.
No, she recommended it to me. So what's up? Shout out to TG. Hey. But yeah, so I went back and restarted watching it, and I'm more hooked this time. So enjoying that. But yeah, I do know it's a big commitment because it's got like 15 seasons. There was
I wouldn't do it. Like I wouldn't like Grey's Anatomy. I'm just gonna be out of the loop.
At some point, I have to go back to finish it. Grey's Anatomy. At least when I fell off, I was on season like 12.
You're not even done with Grey's Anatomy. And you jumped onto another like really long series.
Grey's Anatomy's not done yet. It's still going. But I fell off in like, I think it was like probably season 12.
There's more than 12 seasons of Grey's Anatomy?
I think I'm pretty sure it was seasons. I can't remember how many seasons, but I'm like 3 or 4 seasons behind. But when I did fall off, it wasn't because I didn't like it. I thought it was still good. It's just that, you know.
Show ADD.
I do indeed.
I couldn't do it. After ER ended, I was like, I'm not doing any more doctor dramas. I'm not. Unless they're the Korean ones, because the Koreans always finish their seasons in one swoop, 16 episodes. That's it. You know? That's it. So I will do a Korean one, but any American ones, it would be too long. I don't. There's like Chicago Fire, EMT, Law, everything. I'm like, it's too much.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in watching those. Anyway, I got one more blurred out.
Oh, go ahead.
And that is, me and my mom went to see Jesus Christ Superstar at the Altria yesterday.
Was it blasphemous, as I heard?
To be honest, it's hard to tell.
How?
This is when I see a show in person, like when Hamilton came to the Altria Theater, I enjoyed it, but I appreciated it much more once it was on Disney Plus because I could have subtitles. And I couldn't always tell what they were saying. And that was the same thing with Jesus Christ Superstar, especially since Jesus Christ Superstar, they sing it in a very kind of rock belt. So most of the time, I had no idea of the actual lyrics. But it's one of the most creative shows, like the dancing and choreography, amazing.
What is it about? Like, is it about Jesus or is it not about Jesus, really?
Jesus. Again, but again, I couldn't hear most of the lyrics. But, yeah, about Jesus.
Because I had like a work colleague who used to work with me, and then she moved to another branch in our job. So she still works, we both still work at the same place, but she's just in another department. And she was saying, because she's not like a religious person, but she was saying her absolute favorite show, Broadway show, or just show in general, musical, is Jesus Christ Superstar. And I was like, what is this about? And I was like, if the non-religious like it, then maybe there's something sacrilege about it. Because nobody I know talks about Jesus Christ Superstar at all. I've heard the song, Jesus Christ Superstar, and then I don't know the rest. So I was like, nobody that like I know that likes musicals talks about this. So I was like, I always assumed it was like a blasphemous kind of thing, that they were like making fun. And so I just never looked into it because I was like, I don't want to be part of that because of my faith. But then, I was like, I always wanted to know what was this about. So I was like, I would like to see it just to know what it was about.
It's about Jesus. But, to be honest, I can't tell you very much because I couldn't understand all the lyrics. But I can tell you, like, the dancing and choreography, amazing. The production design is amazing. Like, the stuff they did with, like, the lights. And they did some stuff with, like, the lights and glitter and stuff.
Always like super creative and full of
Not
ingenuity.
always.
Okay, but what people have done in the past, like,
yeah.
It usually
but this, like the
creativity.
production design, amazing. It was so creative. I loved it for that reason. Like I said, I couldn't actually tell what the lyrics were. Maybe it would have been a little bit like. I don't know how iffy I would have been. I would have been like, well, that's not in the Bible, maybe. But I'm not that person who's going to be like, no.
No, I wouldn't be that person.
The non-believers.
I just wonder what it is. Maybe I just need to go on Wikipedia one day and see what it's really about.
Yeah, but I wanted to maybe just watch the movie or something, but apparently they made the play itself, like the Broadway was made in the 70s. A long time ago, yeah. And I think the only movie they did is like from the 70s. I really wish I hadn't fallen asleep because during the beginning of the pandemic. No, not during the show. During the beginning of the pandemic, there was this YouTube channel. Well, there's still a YouTube channel, but they don't put full shows on anymore. Called The Shows Must Go On because Broadway was shut down. So they would show like stage shows that I guess had been recorded, kind of similar to Hamilton. They were recorded ones. And Jesus Christ.
Where did they show it?
I was on YouTube.
Oh wow!
And Jesus Christ Superstar was one of them. But I was really sleepy that night because we had like me and my friends had like a virtual watch party. Aww. And I just I fell asleep. I did.
You were out like a light.
I was. Like so I didn't.
Out like a light. Sorry.
And that would have been the perfect opportunity to actually know what the lyrics were.
I guess so. I'd have to just look it up online then.
Maybe I can find something like that online so that I can actually know what the lyrics are. But like,
what would you rate the Broadway, the show?
I would rate it.
How many glasses?
8 glasses.
Okay.
I don't know if it would have gone up or down based on the lyrics, but based off of the production design and the dancing and choreography.
Did you like the songs?
Well, actually, dancing and choreography. Okay, dancing and choreography, I probably would have given it like a 9 glasses. Production design, I probably would have given it 10 glasses. Just because I didn't know what the lyrics were.
Overall.
I can't give it like higher or lower because maybe the lyrics would have been like, I would have given it lower. But I would give it 8 glasses overall.
Okay. And your mom, you think your mom liked it too?
My mom, she, what did she say? She thought that the dancing was fantastic. She thought that the stuff they did with the glitter and everything was really cool. So she also thought it was really creative, and she liked that. What was her critique? She was not as big of a fan of kind of the rock thing.
The music.
Yeah, because the music was very much kind of like rock. Yeah. Like almost like hair rock type of singing. Okay. So she's not as big of a fan of that. I liked that, so I thought that was pretty cool.
I think it's cool. I think
it's cool, even though I can't understand what any of the lyrics are. So I think that was what my mom's main critique were. But to be honest, if we could have understood the lyrics, I don't know if she would have been a fan or not. Because like some of the movements, like when Pilot and them were on, they had these very suggestive. They had like these almost like mic stand things, and they had these very suggestive movements with the mic stand. I was like, oh,
Pilot was getting down then, I guess. Okay,
so it was like
That's what I was saying. I was like, is it blasphemous or not? Because a lot of people suggesting about
it probably was.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that is awesome. So I'm glad you liked your show.
Yeah, it was really good. It's one of the reasons why I love theater so much. Like the just creativity, the way that you have to problem solve, like the set design, the dancing and all that to make it so that you don't have to exactly believe it because you know that stuff's not there, but the way they creatively do things.
Yeah, like in Hamilton, I love the circle,
circular
stage thing.
Satisfied? That's my favorite song in the entire movie.
Rewind.
I
Sorry.
know, right? And it's because, because that stage trick was so awesome, and two, that song is just, oh my God, Renee Elise Goldsberry.
That girl. It's just the voice.
Oh my God, I love that song so much.
The voice.
Put your union to the revolution, and I hope that you provide.
May you always. When she went up like that,
I know. I was like, sing it, girl.
That voice was singing in the vibrato. You could hear it too, and it was that high. I was like, oh, she is trained. Okay,
she killed it. She killed it.
I don't even think I knew because I saw her a long time ago in when I used to watch soaps with my mom. I used to watch General Hospital, and that was the first time I ever saw her.
I had seen her she was in Altered Carbon on Netflix.
And I don't know what that is.
I've
heard the show, but I've never watched it.
It's really interesting. It's almost kind of like one of those shows that make you think. It's similar in the way that Westworld makes me think.
Is it like Mirror?
Black Mirror?
Yeah.
No, not exactly.
Okay.
I would say it makes me think in the same way that Westworld kind of did. Which I'm excited because Westworld, I think, either is back or is coming back Sunday.
My baby daddy's not going to be on it, I don't think.
I'm not sure.
I haven't seen the last season, so I only watched season 1. So I do need to catch up on that, actually.
Yeah, but Westworld is a show that definitely makes me think. It makes you think about, like, free will and consciousness and things like that. But yeah,
she was on there, and then she was on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, and I watched her sing there, and I was like, I did not know she could sing. I knew she was an actress, but I didn't know she could sing.
And I think she was in one of the other dramas I used to watch. It was I think it was a law drama. I think it was The Good Wife, maybe.
Probably so.
Yeah, but I had no idea.
She's on some new show where she plays like a girl group that grew up. And they're trying to like come back, and I forget the name of that show, but it's like a Showtime show, I think. So it's
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have the name of it, but that was the last thing I heard she was in after I watched her in Hamilton, and it was just beautiful. Like I did not know the quality of her singing.
I know, right?
Phenomenal. I was so impressed.
I'd only seen her in like acting things, but nothing where she sang, and I was like, oh my God, that's her. That's her.
Oh my God, I was like. I was having shivers. Every time I listen to that song, I get shivers and goosebumps.
I know, right? I mean, there's so many good songs in there, but that's like my favorite.
Like, I get winded so easily. Like, even just talking. I was like, the breath you need to talk and sing just to sing as fast as she did and to say all those words.
All of the people in that show are so talented because, the lyrics are so fast-paced.
Hamilton, I remember it got some records for the amount of words that are in an actual musical. Like it was got the most words, and those people did that thing. They did their thing, and they rapped over. Her and the guy that played Lafayette / Jefferson had the fastest and the most words to rap. I swear, if not Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda's character himself too. Anyway, it was really good.
Yeah,
we love her.
We do.
All right. Are we ready to talk about move on to the topic at
let's
hand?
do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Doing it and doing it. Wow.
I'm
doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I wanted to mention that I went to something for the first time called a Bourbon Dinner. So my friend Matt, who's very bougie. I love you, Matt, but you're extremely bougie, and I love it because I go there with him. Anytime he wants to get bougie, I'm like, yes, he's my go-to. But he got me a ticket as a birthday gift, and I was so appreciative. And I was like, I'm gonna go because that menu just sounded fire. And I was like, oh, I want to taste all this. Some duck confit with marmalade, some anchovy, white asparagus. I've never had white asparagus before. And the bourbon didn't really interest me much because, again, I'm not like a big drinker. And I don't like taking alcohol straight up without any mixing. Oh,
straight
Lord.
up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Oh.
No. So that's what I always do. I'd be like, no. The dinner was lovely. It was like a 4-course meal. It was so funny because me, Rosie, and our friends Rosie and Chadney, we're like the only 3 black people there. It was in like the West End. It was in Henrico at this place called Tarrant West. And it was a really nice place. Like it was really super nice. We had like all these tables. We were actually sitting really close to other people who also bought tickets for this event. But they had like 4 different bourbons for you to try. And well, the last one was like a rummish bourbon. It was actually rum, but it had been processed like a bourbon. So it was like a bourbon rum. It was weird. But I tried they had a little shot glass for you to taste everything. They had a different one with each meal. And that thing was, I can't do it. I can't. It goes to my head. I tried shots on my birthday, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. This isn't for the ducks, man. This is not me. I was like, give me my sweet wine or my sweet cocktails, and the bourbon is not for me. It's too strong. It's way too strong. And I was just like, it burns. Oh, it burns. But we had a good time, and I just thought it was an interesting experience. So, again, y'all want to see it? It's in my birthday highlight on Bola Story B. Well, at Bola Story B. 2 E's. So I thought it was a really interesting experience. I think I would love to go to like a wine dinner now, Whitney. Totally. We'll find one. We'll go together. All right, so let's get into Single All the Way. Single all the way. Single all the way. Okay.
Yeah, speaking of, I know this is kind of a little bit skipping to the end, but one of the things I loved is the in credit song.
Let's talk about it. Yes, so this one had so I know it's not really July yet, so you can really do the Christmas in July. Yeah, we're going to do Christmas in June because it's Pride, okay? Just let it go. Just let it be.
Whispering words of wisdom. Let it be.
Allow it. Next time I'll just say allow it. Like the British people. Allow it. Anyway, but that's a good one. Always a good one. But yeah, it's a really, really good movie. And my sister told me it was really good. Cute. And it was super cute. It gave me all the feels. But it had this awesome song called Single All the Way at the very end. And that's I have to look that up and listen to it again because
it's really catchy.
Really good.
It is. It's really good. It's really
sung by this funky guy that's in this video, like a local bar guy who's just like, I sing as my side hustle. Yeah. And I sing this song every year. It's funny.
Yeah, within the film they were like, yeah, this one guy, he's like, isn't that so and so who's like this the plow guy,
he's the plow guy, and he's the animal psychiatrist, and then he's like that one guy that does so many things in this small town.
Exactly.
And then he also
apparently he's also known for every year he spends all year composing one song and then that he sings
on Christmas. But that worked. It worked. Like it's about working on your craft, so it's like work that song until it's really good. I'm about it. That song was very good.
It was really good.
Wow, I was like, why have not heard about this in Christmas time? It's such a good song. But I love Christmas movies.
I do.
I don't care that it's not July. It's in the middle of the year.
It was one of those things I've never disliked Christmas movies, but I guess ever since Netflix started making a lot of their own content, it's just they put out so many around Christmas time, and they put out some bangers. I mean, they're not like gonna win awards type of things, but it's like those cute ones. Oh, I really wish that you would watch
the Christmas candle.
Dash and Lily.
Oh, yeah, that's on my list.
I really wish they would have given it a second season, but it was so cute. It was so cute.
I have that on my list, I promise. It is. It's just,
but it is. I don't know what it is. There's just something, especially, like, I would say specifically for me, Netflix ones do a really good job on, like, their Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm. I watched, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I went in and I watched all the ones with Vanessa Hudgens, where she's like the Princess Switch movies. I've watched like all 3 of them. I did enjoy them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a stretch, of course, because I was like, okay, now you're like 3 of them. There's 3 of you now, but I still enjoyed them.
It's like Zeta.
Yes.
Like first it was like the
version, and then herself, and then another. Who's the other one?
The princess.
The princess that looks like her too. Yeah. Exactly. But I liked the Christmas time movies. Like, I don't need them to be like blockbuster great. Sometimes you want the corny and everything, because these films used to be the ones that won awards that people used to love. They used to love that feeling that they got from these films. It's like now everyone just wants to watch everybody killing themselves and killing each other and everything. So all the dark stuff is all the people like, or the fighting stuff. And I'm just like, let there be room for the rom-coms again. It's like the rom-coms are not shining as much. And I was like, but they're still awesome. They used to be the films that we loved, that everyone would watch, everyone saw, everyone knew about in the theaters. Like, people used to pay for these rom-coms. And now everyone's like, let's just stream it online. Like, and I'm not going to the theater to pay for this. And
admittedly, I don't usually spend my money on, like, rom-coms. I usually spend my money on action adventure.
We went and saw Lost City, which was a rom-com.
I kind of classified that a little bit more action.
I think it's a rom-com.
I think it was multi.
Yeah, that one was multi. It was an action, comedy, drama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and since it had, like, the action component, I think I was more, like... But if it was, like, purely a rom-com, I'm not usually one to see it in theaters.
Last one I saw in the theaters that was, like, a pure rom-com was probably, I would say it was The Photograph.
I never saw that.
Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield. It wasn't the best, actually. But I did pay my money, and I went in to see it in the theater. It might have been before the pandemic, actually.
I don't really go to see, like, pure romance movies, but I did see, like, 2 romance movies in the last, like, 4 years. I saw it by myself. I saw Every Day.
What's that?
That one was this one about this, I think their name, because it was hard to say whether he or she was A. And it was a person who every day they were in a different person's body.
You mentioned this.
Yeah, but the girl falls in love with A when they're in the particular person's body, and then she, like, tries to find them every time they switch. But it's a really good. I liked it. It was very different, but, like, it's not the type of thing I would usually see in theaters. But I did. I saw that, and I think I actually saw Love, Simon in theaters.
Oh, that's on Netflix. My sister loves that.
Yeah, I know it's on something.
No, it's on Amazon Prime. Excuse me.
Amazon Prime. But yeah, I actually saw that in theaters.
I thought it was a series.
No, Love, Victor is a series.
Oh, never mind.
Because they made, like, a spin-off.
Love, Simon is totally different.
Yeah, Love, Simon is the movie, and then they did a series that was kind of almost like a spin-off.
Oh, okay. And then it's Love,
because
Victor.
the guy Simon, makes an appearance in Love, Victor. So yeah, it really is pretty much like a spinoff because they took kind of almost like the same premise, and they made a series.
But speaking of the rom-com, we know that we've seen the most, like, predictable trope of the. It's like guy meets girl, fall in love, things happen. They're just trying to get them in love, and they fall in love and everything. And you usually don't see gay characters a lot in the past having this kind of movie for themselves. Like, I still remember how, like, groundbreaking Brokeback Mountain was. But it also made, like, their love a forbidden
or
taboo.
Were there ones that we just weren't aware of because
they
were
didn't
low?
make them back then because of everyone's stigmas and all that stuff. There were hardly any that are pure. Like, what I liked about Single All the Way was that it was a real legitimate rom-com where the main couple was a gay couple, and they were trying to get them together, and it was just like, it was normal, it was fine. Like, there was no, like, touchiness, and there was none of that.
Yeah, it's like there was no bury your gays, there was no, like, all of that.
There was acceptance on the parents' part. The family was just trying to get them together.
There's one thing, like,
free.
I
like that.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing LGBTQ movies where it's like it's like any other movie except for the characters happen to be queer in some way, because it gets exhausting with the whole like if there's like the whole homophobia and stuff, and yeah, that exists. Just like Black joy movies, like you enjoy seeing things as a Black person where we don't always have to have the
Black pain
exactly
or the racism and that
exactly stuff. And that's also how I feel about LGBTQ movies. I'm like, yeah, sometimes you can watch the stuff with all the other stuff in there, but sometimes you just want to watch something happy or romantic or something that doesn't have all of that like institutional pain
and issues. Exactly. And this one, it was refreshing to see, because and then you pull for the you're just like, oh, this is just a normal couple trying to get together, and it was just like free of all that stuff, and it was just like, wow, I didn't realize. I was like, wow, I haven't seen something like this in a very, very long time. I don't think I know of another film like it that I've seen where it's just a pure gay couple getting together. I don't think I've seen anything like it, really. And it's a Christmas film at that, too.
It probably helps that it's a Christmas film. Like,
I guess so.
Because it's a Netflix Christmas film, they're like, we want to make... the whole point of our Christmas movies and stuff, where it's like, it's not winning any awards, but it's like, it's not exactly a guilty pleasure. You don't feel too guilty about it, but it's just like...
I don't feel guilty about them. They're Christmas movies.
You don't feel guilty, but at the same time, you know it's not like winning any awards.
Yeah, they're not Marvel movies, and they're not Star Wars, but they're also not those indie films and stuff.
They're Hallmarkish.
They're Hallmarkish, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of seeing the Hallmarkish needs to change a bit, because the Hallmark formula is just like white girl meets white boy, and then there's some chateau somewhere, or there's like some prince involved, or they're in some ski resort lodge. Something happens, and then bam, and it's like formulaic. They have so many. It's ridiculous.
It is so crazy how many they have. But my mom, I remember a lot of the times when I would go home to like visit, if it was like a weekend, I would say, oh, so is it Lifetime movie weekend, Mommy?
I know, right? That's why I was like, I don't even know if anyone... Well, with Lifetime, it was always like battered woman show.
Yeah, like, for so long, that's what it was.
So much stories
like,
about all these women getting beat, women getting killed, women getting something by their man, and he's just like, oh, God, kill me now. Not me, but you know what I mean. Like, you just want it to be like, ugh.
For a while, that is what it seemed like.
Yeah. It's like, it just kind of like perpetuates this whole like.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. Sorry, Lifetime. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what
Lifetime.
You said Lifetime.
Hallmark is a little
Hallmark is
different. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I would say this is more like a Hallmark movie than a Lifetime
is all the
one.
Corny movies, but I was just tired of seeing Jessica and Chad. I was tired of that. I remember, I've said this before. I think I said this last Christmas on our Christmas episode where we did Nightjar Christmas. No, you did not. I think I said this before.
The very next day, you
Whitney,
gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Sorry, that song's so good, though.
I know, it is a very good song. But I was saying that we last Christmas in the year previous. Just so I won't start her up again. Christmas in the year previous, we were doing a review of I believe it was
Jingle
Jangle, or it was Nightjar Christmas. Probably Jingle Jangle, actually.
I think we did both of them. We did both of them? Yeah, because it was December, so we did two.
But I think I was talking about this in that same episode, and how I think it was what is his name? Jimmy Fallon. He had taken one famous actress, right? And he had shown like a bunch of covers of the Hallmark movies. And I swear to you now, they were all different versions of like the same person. A white guy in red, a white girl in green. And they're just like holding each other different ways with a different title. It was like the same thing. And then the funny part was like they were recreating it. But it was a joke because it was like these were real movies. But the cover, they just like it's the same movie over and over again. And I was like, come on, Hallmark, do better. Like so.
But they don't need to. They're like, this is formulaic.
It works.
We just
for them.
churn them out, make that money, and keep the machine rolling.
Yeah, but there's never any variety. So I like that Netflix is trying to do something Hallmarkish to meet those people and the Christmas movie feels and needs. but it's different. Not only is it a gay couple, but it is an interracial couple as well.
Oh yeah,
because Philemon is black and he can feel upon that. Okay, but I loved the story. I liked the whole thing of the two best friends. I'm not gonna lie, it hit the same tropes that I was just like, okay, the whole thing, two friends or they're best friends, but they want to be more. But it was fine with me because it was like, oh, this is the gay couple doing it. But if it was like a guy and a girl, I was like, okay, I've seen this too many times. But for them, I was like in the film for the whole thing. I was in my feels. I was enjoying it.
And it makes it a little bit different because it's a gay couple. And it's like, yay, gay joy. No, like all of this.
And they were so cute.
I just love it. I think Michael Urie is so cute anyway.
He is very cute, but can we talk about Philemon?
He is so fine.
Guys, I'm telling you.
But oh my God, his family, teeth. Like in the movie, Michael Urie's character's name is Peter. Teeth? Yeah, and then Philemon's character's name is Nick, and his family, and like Peter's family's talking about it. It's like, yeah, Peter and Nick should be together. Nick is like a 10, and Peter's like a 10 in New Hampshire.
It was such shade. So one of the characters was called Lise, was one of his Peter's sisters, and she was just coming off at the mouth, y'all. Like she was doing a lot. I was like, this woman don't be quiet. I was like, she was throwing shade everywhere the whole movie, but I thought she was hilarious. The whole movie's like his whole family. Nick goes with they leave LA and Nick goes with him back home to New Hampshire to be with his family, and it's like it's the first time Nick has ever gone over there, and everyone's like, the parents want Peter to be in love, to find somebody, but he's never had anybody. I don't
know that that's actually true. I got the feeling from the film that maybe that wasn't true.
What do you mean?
Maybe that's the first time he went there on Christmas, but I don't know if that's the first time he had ever been.
You're right, because they knew him so much.
Yeah, all of them knew him really well.
You're probably right. So it's like this is like the first time he's come back for Christmas, but he's been there because they all knew him. Yeah, and they knew about the story and everything. Well, some of the kids didn't, but it was like really nice. He came, he met his family. You could really feel he enmeshed himself, and it was just nice to see this kind of family style movie. And the parents wanted him to get together. The mom was something because she was like, "Oh, I read my books about having an LGBT. That's what she said, daughter or son." And I was like, "Really, LGBT?" So it was so funny. So she kept bringing that up, but it was like she was actively trying to help her son find another male partner, get into a relationship. And it was like the dad was down with everything, and he just was like, I always want you to be with Nick, you know what I'm saying? And I can get a handyman on the side, you know what I mean?
I know, that was funny.
So the parents were corny but they were still like loving and
By the
accepting.
way, the mother is Kathy Najimy, as in from
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Love her.
And she was amazing. And then you had Stifler's mom. Oh my God, what was her name again?
Jennifer Coolidge?
Yes, she was crazy. She was the crazy aunt that was doing a play about Jesus, and she called it Jesus
H. Christ.
And I was like, so what does H stand for? I was just like,
I always assumed holy.
Maybe that's better than Hector, because I said Hector.
What? Wow.
And then I was like, she was just being a crazy, crazy ass woman the whole time. You're just like, really? You're doing a lot for this little like school gym play that you're doing. My favorite thing she did was that when they introduced her, she was wearing the ornaments that were on the tree on her ears as earrings. And I was like, yo, those earrings are fly. These are awesome. They're so big and they're beautiful. And then you just see when they see the family tree, you're just like, oh. Then she started taking them off the tree. And put them back on the tree. I was like, how you get these earrings? I just love the idea of taking some ornaments and just like, I'm just going to wear these because they look like good earrings. But she was crazy, but enjoyable and funny. And I love that part. What was one of your favorite parts?
I like the fact that there wasn't a whole, some of his friends in LA were a little bit slightly catty, but I loved how the love interest that his mom was trying to set Peter up with, James, was like, he was interested in him, but he was also like a really, really good dude. Because, a lot of times in like these kind of formulaic movies, it's like, oh no, that other person is obviously the right person for you. So-and-so's a jerk. But it was like, that wasn't the case in here. He wasn't a jerk. He was a really good guy, but they just weren't meant for each other.
Yeah. Well, actually, can we go back a little bit to the beginning of the movie where I felt so much for Peter because, one, Nick and Peter are roommates. They're like best friends, but they also live together. So it's just like, I'm not gonna lie, I told Whitney on the side while we were watching, I'm just gonna tell y'all too, because I was like, in real life, they would have gotten together. Like, you can't be that close and tight and love it, and nothing happened. I was like, come on. But, well, I didn't want to go into the stereotype, because the mom kept saying this about how two gay best friends, of course they have to be together, because I remember watching Will and Grace all the time. And you would think Will and Jack would get together. But, like, no. You're like, they can be best friends, but they cannot date. They are totally not the right people for each other.
Right,
but
right.
Nick and Peter were just, like, already like a little married couple already. I was just like, come on. Y'all ain't do nothing already? Like, come on. But it's a movie, so we just leave it alone. But I like that. No, I'm going back to the beginning where they had introduced that Peter was dating somebody, and it was like, oh, wow, 3 months, because apparently Peter just dates frequently and doesn't keep somebody long, and he's had a lot of heartbreak and all that kind of stuff. But this was like my secret fear that happened for Peter, where he had a down low brother, actually, but it was like the other side. It wasn't a woman, it was him. He was like down low married to a woman while also trying to be like saying that he was open and free to date Peter, and he was dating him while being married to a woman. I was like, what the f-? I was like, what the F? I was like, that was messed up. I was so shocked, and I was like, see, I can't do that. Like, I told her, I was like, you can be gay all day. Just don't do it with me, because I like strictly dickly, okay? I want the D, and you can have your D over there, but I don't want you to. I'm straight. That's me. That's my own. So I was just like, that was my like fear. And I was like mad for him too, because I was like, how are you lying to your wife and Peter? Like, that's not right to do to both of them.
And then you about to jet off to meet Peter's family.
Yes, over there acting like you were going to do when you have a whole family here. And,
dude, yeah, and apparently because
kids too.
Nick said something at one point about kids. I'm like,
kids too. You can't be doing that. No,
dude, not cool.
And then of course, who found out about Nick? Because Nick was his job was a task rabbit, which is basically like Uber for doing household tasks. And I liked it because I had a handyman come over. He was in the handyman app. It was funny. It was great. So I loved it. Although I prefer a handy bunny. I prefer the name Handy Bunny, like the dad said. It was so cute, like my Handy Bunny. Okay, but then it kind of seems like you're getting like a girl that likes to, do like fix it up stuff and crafts and all that kind of stuff. Handy Bunny just sounds kind of girlish, doesn't it? But I still prefer it anyway. But Nick was the one that discovered it because he got a task to put some lights on somebody's house on the roof, and he's just like, this is what he loves to do. He loves going around helping people doing stuff. He loves his job as a task rabbit, and he's very handy. He likes crafting, building, all that kind of stuff, hardware, all that. But he's up there, and then lo and behold, the girl's like, oh, my husband's home. And who's the husband? Peter's boyfriend with quotation marks. It was a problem. I was pissed for him. I was like, nah, I'm not about that. That guy was rotten trash, though. I don't even know his name, but he was trash. Yeah. So it was, like, hard for him. So the family were like, we want to see you with somebody. And there's like, the mom was like, I'm going to set you up when you got here. And the guy she set him up with, James was like, Whitney does it very better than me. Go ahead, Whitney. Yeah, well, let's do it together. Or wait, you know that song Motivation? Ooh, it's that thing got me violent. Ooh, you know that song?
I don't think so.
Motivation by Normani.
Not familiar with it.
Drip, drip, when you're riding. Ooh. Okay, I have to play something for you because I will do that next time. Be like, James came in, you're like, ooh, because he was built. Ooh, y'all. I was just like, checkmate. Like, I'm over there. Because he was like, Peter was denying this. So he's like, nah, don't set me up, Mom. It's not going to work. I'm not doing that mess. And then he took one look and went, ooh. He was like, I'm on board. And he's like, I'm going to just stop like hanging with the family because I'm going to check James out. Okay. But the whole time he was realizing that he wanted to get out of LA. He didn't really like his job. He missed not being with his family. He was the gunkle, which is the gay uncle. Both of his sisters had kids and he wanted to be home more. Yeah. So it seemed like finding James in his small town was
and I like that about him because, some people, they get in a relationship and then everyone else falls to the wayside. But he's out with James and he's like, but I'm here for 10 days and I came to see my family. I really want to, actually hang out with my family.
I like that too.
I like that about him.
Yes. What was another thing? And then I don't know what it is, but when I call it BL because my sister's really into BL stuff. She watches all these dramas from Thailand and
BL means boy love.
Yes, Thailand, China, and Korea, all of them. And she loves the BL. Like, she gets crazy about them. That's her favorite thing to watch. She watched the European ones, too. I don't know. She just loves them. But something about it, I just got so many feels. Like, I was feeling the feels, and it was like I was rooting for them. And then when I watched the good ones with her sometimes, I'm like, oh, my God, the feels. I want them to get together so much. I watched this one called Untamed. And because of Chinese censorship stuff, they didn't really let them get into the relationship with the two main characters, because you really watching this, you're just like, I want them to get together. Mind you, now this was like a horror type action period piece, because the Chinese ones are always fanciful, and it was like, flying in the air and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if have you ever seen a Chinese drama?
Maybe.
You need to watch Untamed. It's on Netflix. Sometimes the graphics will not be as great, but that is because of Chinese laws. They will sometimes like tell them take this out, and then they won't give them the money to reshoot stuff, so they have to just do what they can do. But it was really good, like drama, like a really good one. And I just be pulling for them. So I was like, I got the same feeling in this. And when it came time for them to finally get together, I was just like, yeah, the love that was between them, how Nick was willing to when he thought Peter didn't love him back, he was still willing to use his money from his book and buy him this space, because he's like, you want to move back home, be with your family, set up a plant shop that you want. You love plants, do it. And he's like, I'm going to support you in this, and then I'm going to bounce. Because I was just like, oh my God, that man love you, man.
Yeah, that's true love right there.
Right?
True,
that's what you need. Everybody's looking for
selfish
like that.
love.
Yes.
And I love, one of my very, very favorite things about this movie was when they were talking about, well, you said that you were moving back here. He's like, but you didn't say that you wanted to come with me. He's like, you didn't ask me.
Exactly.
He's like, I was afraid. He was like, I was afraid.
Peter was getting in his own way, y'all. He really was. I was like, can you just get on board? I don't want to hear this mess about, but I'll lose you as my friend. I hate that thing that they do. I hate it.
But I love the fact that, at the end, he's like, so you sure you want to be around my family 24/7? He was like, I've been ready for a family for a long time. I loved that. I loved that.
Tears. Fuck tears.
Because earlier in the movie, they kind of allude to the fact that I guess Nick's mom passed away or something. So
and that he usually likes a solo staycation for the holiday. And he was like, I don't want you to be alone dealing with all the feelings and remembering, how your mom's not here for Christmas and that you don't have family. And he was like, come and be with me and my family. He kind of
and they really were they were his family. He was already family anyway. Everybody knew him and loved him anyway. So they were already acting like he was already part of the family.
Oh, another favorite thing I did was that I just love that they still made my boy. It's a Hallmark film, but they still made my boy black. Nick was still black. He had an Ankh chain on. He had a do-rag on. His waves was tight and right. He was like, I'm still black. And then, because Peter was trying to do this whole premise of you pretend to be my boyfriend so that I can get out of this blind date thing that my mom is trying to do. Right? That was it, right?
Yeah. Well, he didn't know about the blind date before he went. This was before
he didn't know about the blind date. You're right. But just because he told the family that he was bringing somebody, and then he didn't have anybody, so he was like, Nick, just pretend to be it for now. And they were like, nah. And no, Nick was like, nah, I'm not doing that. He was just like, he's going to be blocked. He's like, what I ain't fitting to do is lie to your family for 10 days straight. So as soon as they got there, and then Peter's trying to keep up this hoax, what did Nick do? Nick reneged on him all day. He was like, you need to go on that blind date. He was like, I ain't fitting to lie to your family. I was like, yes, be a black man. I was so happy. I was like, yes. I just love it. He was around all these white people. And then he was still like, I'm going to wear my orange do-rag. And I'm going to get up and take care of this, whatever this is what he was doing. It was just so great. I love that the family was getting involved. His nieces were all trying to get in there. His nephews were so tight with Nick.
The sisters, everybody.
Everybody was just, it was a mesh.
And I just loved how much of a family film it was. They were such a supportive family. So, a real family, together type of family. And they loved each other.
There's not one parent who's awkward about it. About, I have a gay son and I don't really like that. And it's just you just see that too much. It was just nice to see the father supports the son. Even if he doesn't like it or whatever, he's like, no, this is my son. You felt that he loved his son still. And I love seeing that because a lot of gay people don't get that from some of their family members. And it was just nice to see I support my son. I love my son no matter what. I like seeing that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to throw away your children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but I did. I loved it because, like, I loved the basis of the romance. It's like they were already best friends, and I loved what the dad said. Because when the dad was trying to convince Nick that he should like get together with his son, get together with Peter, he's like, well, Peter's my best friend. He was like, so my wife is my best friend.
Exactly. And that's, like, the best way to start. And I was, like, so mad at Peter because it's, like, that trope that was constantly, it's just repetitive. It's just, like, redundant. What happens if we don't work out? We'll ruin our friendship. I'm like, really? Just, like, no, that's an excuse because you're afraid. And he was like, go for it, no fear. The father was like, go for it, no fear, right? I just love that, you know? And the mom was like, either way, I want you with somebody. Either you're going to be with Nick or you're going to be with James. I just want you with somebody. And I was, like, down for the mom. She was reading her books. She was doing what she was just... The whole family was getting behind it. And I loved the whole family getting involved in their love story.
I know.
And celebrating them and how it went down. And it was really, really good.
I loved how close the family was.
Yeah, and it was just nice to see a nice pride film like this. And it just be normal and regular. Like I said, representation... If you normalize it, it won't be such an issue. You know what I mean? And so I really like this choice, Whitney. It was wonderful. I enjoyed it very much.
I enjoyed it a lot, too.
All right. So are we ready for the ratings, or we want to say anything else?
I think we're ready for the ratings.
All right.
You go first, girl.
I'm going to give it 8 glasses.
We
I
are
enjoyed it.
Synced today, because I also give it 8 glasses.
All right, so we got 8 glasses on 8 glasses. There we go, y'all. That's our rating for this film, Single All the Way. And so you can find this film streaming on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, anything else you want to add with me?
Nah, I think we're good.
All right, so next time, y'all, we will either see you at BlerdTalk. All right, so we're going to blurt out of here, guys. All right, bye.
Bye.
Blerd out. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to our show on whatever podcast listening app you use and share the show with other blurred and non-blurred family and friends. And if you like our episode, please rate and review us on iTunes.
The intro and outro music is Twilight by Caption. You can find them on SoundCloud, username Caption, spelled C-A-P-S-H-U-N. The show notes are by Bola, Hanson, and the audio engineering is by Whitney Booker.
And you can contact us by email at blerdtalkbw@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to get social, you guys. You can find us on our social media at Instagram and Twitter, with our @handle being @blerdtalkbw. And we've got our individual things going on too, y'all. So you can find me, your Blerd Fashionista, on Instagram and Twitter at BolaStoryB. That's B with 2 E's like the insect. And I've got my own personal YouTube channel, just Bola Sade. That's BOLASHADE. D as in dog, E as in elephant.
And this is Whitney. You can find me at my company, Luminavi Studios. The email address is wit@luminavi.com. That's WHIT@LUMENAVI.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Luminavi Studios.